Assassin's Creed is probably one of the most iconic franchises in gaming history. I think I can fairly say that, and most of you will agree with me. Now, unfortunately, it's owned by an incredibly controversial publisher, and they found themselves in hot water recently. It's not the first time. Now, this series has been extremely up and down throughout the decades, and Ubisoft has reportedly been working hard at expanding the IP and the universe in a ton of new ways in an attempt to dig themselves out of the financial hole they found themselves in after a string of major flops. Now, Ubisoft has some huge plans for Assassin's Creed over the next 5 to 6 years, and today, we're going over those plans. The leaks, the rumors, the confirmations, everything. There are so many Assassin's Creed projects in the works right now, it's absolutely insane. So you are going to get up to date on what Ubisoft has up their sleeve. Let me know in the comments if you're excited about the future of this legendary franchise. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Chaos here. Drop that like. Stick around. We have a lot to cover. Now, before we get into the news, let's make sure everybody's up to speed on the Assassin's Creed franchise and where this ship is heading. The next Assassin's Creed game is in the pipeline, and it's AC Mirage, which I'm actually excited for. Set in the 9th century Baghdad, the game will return to form for the franchise's gameplay. It is going to focus more on stealth action and ditching the massive open worlds that recent games have made. They have listened to the core community. Now, me, personally, I like the open world aspect. I like Odyssey. I like Origins, but I also understand the fans that want to go back to true form. Mirage is also expected to be the last Assassin's Creed game developed for the 8th generation of consoles, meaning if you're a fan of this series and you still haven't upgraded to a PS5 or Xbox Series console, you may want to start looking into that. Now, after Mirage will be Assassin's Creed Codename Red, and that is going to be set in feudal Japan and allowing you to play as a shinobi warrior, which is awesome, I'm really excited about that one. Before we move on, most of you are gamers, which means you know about cheat codes, and the biggest cheat code in a can is G Fuel. That's right, energy, focus, stamina, metabolism, immunity, it's got it all. And it's available at Walmart. Link is at the top of the description, up to 30% off with code Chaos, and this month is absolutely stacked. They've released Flavor Buddies toys, the Doodles, Bands, and Charms, and coming up right around the corner, depending on when you watch this video, the Spider-Verse collection will launch online, and it'll be available at GNC and Vitamin Shops later this month. It's a huge month for G Fuel, guys. Let me know if you take advantage. Link is at the top of the description. Okay, now AC Red is also reportedly going to be another open world RPG style Assassin's Creed game, so get ready to explore a giant version of Japan. That's probably the biggest one on my radar. Red is also expected to be the first game to be part of the upcoming Assassin's Creed Infinity project, which means that project is likely going to come out alongside it next year, although it's possible both projects get pushed back to 2025. Now, after AC Red, we have AC Hex, pronounced Hex. I know it's got an E on the end of it, but that's how you pronounce it, which doesn't have a confirmed setting yet, but it's been heavily implied it will take place around 16th century Europe, witchcraft, and the infamous witch trials from that time, which I'm super interested to dive into. There's also a mobile game set in ancient China in development called Assassin's Creed Jade, which I'm not really excited about, and maybe one more mobile game on the upcoming Assassin's Creed Netflix series as well. There's also a mysterious project called Assassin's Creed Invictus, which is in development. It's believed to be a standalone multiplayer game that will be part of the AC Infinity platform. Those are all the confirmed Assassin's Creed games in development. But on top of that, we also know there's a VR game that Ubisoft is likely going to announce within the next year or so, given the fact that it's leaked about a dozen times now. And there's also reportedly a remake or remaster of the original Assassin's Creed game in development, but it's unclear just how serious Ubisoft is about that project at this moment. But now that we're all up to speed on the current Assassin's Creed ambitions, let's get into the new details that have surfaced over the last couple weeks. Now, one piece of new Assassin's Creed news to come out recently that I actually wasn't expecting was the fact that it's now believed that Assassin's Creed Mirage may release as part of the AC Infinity platform. Now, this is pretty surprising news, actually, given the fact that AC Infinity is not expected to launch until 2024 at the absolute earliest, but Mirage is going to drop before this year's over, 2023. So it's a little unclear what this actually means for the Infinity platform. This also goes directly against what Ubisoft previously said, which is that Assassin's Creed Red will be the first game released on the Infinity platform. So I want to go over all of this and what it could actually possibly mean. Like I said before, AC Infinity is basically going to be a platform connecting all the Assassin's Creed games and giving access to their various multiplayer elements. I mean, if any, I guess we didn't talk about that. Some people are probably like, What is the AC Infinity platform? What is the project? That's it. It is going to be the hub connecting all the games. It's also believed there's going to be some kind of story that's going on in the background of AC Infinity that serves as a franchise's overarching narrative between games. Yes, think like the MCU. Think like the multiverse and Marvel and their sagas. It looks like this is the way that Assassin's Creed may end up going. You got this backstory that gets bigger and bigger. All these games connect in this one Infinity hub. And then maybe down the road, they all merge together. It sounds exciting to me. It's ambitious, but it sounds exciting. Now, Ubisoft stated that AC Red would be the first game launching with AC Infinity, but if these insider reports that AC Mirage will also be on the platform end up being true, I don't actually think this means Infinity is coming sooner than expected. Now, honestly, I think if Ubisoft was going to launch AC Infinity by the end of 2023, we would have already heard something about it. It's huge. We would have known. And since that isn't the case at this moment, I'm going to guess that Mirage will be available on Infinity once it comes out, but it will not launch alongside it. Now, AC Red, on the other hand, will likely be the first AC game that truly launches on the Infinity platform, while Mirage, it will simply be available on the platform once it comes out next year. It will be added to the mix. But this may still end up being pretty interesting to the overarching narrative, because remember that all the games in the AC Infinity platform are going to be connected one way or another. So the fact that AC Mirage is now going to be part of it could mean that the game's story is going to have a much bigger impact on the overall AC universe than we expected. We may just have to wait some time to find out. Now, it's also possible that Assassin's Creed Infinity ends up launching at some point in between AC Mirage and AC Red. That would allow Ubisoft to have time to hype up their new AC platform without actually overwhelming people with new releases. Think about it. I think there's like 13 Assassin's Creed releases estimated or leaked or talked about. That's insane. Theoretically, if AC Mirage launches at the end of 2023, which it's supposed to, and AC Red launches at the end of 2024, which it's supposed to, it's possible Ubisoft launches AC Infinity at some point during the first half of 2024. They can get it up and running before AC Red officially launches, and during that time, they'll use AC Mirage as the first official entry in the Infinity storyline, if that makes sense. I know, we are really going down the wormhole here. Now, the more I hear about AC Infinity, the less likely I think it is that it launches alongside AC Red. But if the rumors are true that AC Mirage is going to be the first game available on the Infinity platform, the more likely scenario, I think, is that Infinity actually launches in between Mirage and Red. So this would mean Ubisoft technically was not lying when they said AC Red would be the first game that launches on the AC Infinity platform. But they could also still use Mirage as a way to promote it and get people on the platform. Kind of use Mirage as a beta. I know, it's very complicated, it is, but I'm sure Ubisoft will shed some light on their release schedule later this year at one of their showcases. Once again, I go back to the Marvel where we have the phases and Kevin Feige announces them. I just get that vibe. We're going to get this timeline of all these Assassin's Creed projects and phases and how they're all going to tie into the Infinity platform. I'm actually pretty excited for it. But speaking of release plans, there was recently a leak circulating the internet suggesting that AC Mirage may actually be further away than we thought. Now, in a recent tweet from Codex, a very reliable Assassin's Creed news source, it was alleged that AC Mirage has undergone a shift in production, which is never good, and that it's related to getting the game up and running on the AC Infinity hub, but will also result in a little bit of a delay. Now, originally, Ubisoft was planning on releasing this game on its own, like all the other AC games, and it was expected to come out in the fall or early winter of this year. But according to recent leaks, the decision to get Mirage up and running on the AC Infinity platform is going to push it back, possibly to early 2024. Now, honestly, this may end up being a good idea for Ubisoft, because the second half of 2023 is actually pretty crammed with high-profile games that would probably put a dent in AC Mirage's potential sales. Think about it. We have Spider-Man 2. We have Starfield. They're both expected to launch in September, but it was also recently confirmed that the highly anticipated Armored Core 6 is going to launch in August. I don't know if you're a mech fan, but this franchise is one of the most storied franchises been around forever. Now, it's going to be a pretty big seller since it's being developed from Software of Dark Souls and Elden Ring fame. It's going to be big, I promise. Mortal Kombat 12 is also expected to launch by the end of the year, as well as Payday 3, Stalker 2, Forza Motorsport. I mean, you guys get the idea here. Ubisoft may be looking at the lineup of AAA games, the daunting lineup they'd be competing with in 2023, and saying, you know what? Let's weigh the possibility of pushing Mirage back to early 2024. A spring release sounds pretty good. Again, no official release date attached to AC Mirage right now, but it's expected to come out in the second half of the year, and if Ubisoft wants to use the game as a way to cross-promote Infinity, they may see this as a beneficial delay. Just a few months. Give it a little more space to breathe away from all these other heavy hitters of 2023, which also makes sure the launch will go smoothly, because the last thing Ubisoft needs right now is a buggy Assassin's Creed launch. The last thing any AAA developer needs is a buggy launch, but we seem to get them no matter what, because that seems to be our reality. But anyway, that's a video for another day. Now, another interesting piece of Ubisoft news from the last few weeks was the announcement that there is going to be a webtoon series starring Edward Kenway from Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Meaning, this is going to be a pirate-themed story, which I honestly wasn't expecting, but I'm all down for pirates. I am. Now, I know we have Skull and Bones coming eventually. We think it's coming eventually, and it's kind of that, and it's got that Assassin's Creed Black Flag vibe to it, but I'm down for pirates. Black Flag is widely seen as one of the best games in the entire franchise. You let me know in the comment section where you rank it among all the AC titles, but it was released all the way back in 2013. There's probably a lot of you that never even experienced it, and Ubisoft hasn't really followed it up with anything when you think about it. Assassin's Creed turned into a swashbuckling pirate adventure in 2013, and then the franchise never embraced that vibe again. So it's a little strange that Ubisoft all of a sudden announced a webtoon series set during that era of the franchise, but maybe this is a way for them to promote Skull and Bones in a way. Yes, that's another Ubisoft game. Then again, it's also possible this is Ubisoft testing the waters, no pun intended, for a potential return to the pirate setting for a future Assassin's Creed game, or perhaps a remake, or perhaps a remaster of AC Black Flag for the upcoming Infinity platform. Yeah, it's going to be huge. People still love Assassin's Creed Black Flag, so I wouldn't be shocked at all if Ubisoft is trying to find a new way to capitalize on that with their new pirate game, Skull and Bones, in the works. Like, will we ever get it? I don't know. I mean, especially since that game was conceived as the successor to Black Flag, but it's been in development forever. Keep your eyes open for new webtoon series based on Black Flag, because if that series does well, Ubisoft will pay attention and maybe want to expand the time period with another game in the near future, which I would be 100% down for. Now, let's wrap all this up with a bow. We didn't even talk about probably 5 or 6 other Assassin's Creed leaked projects, speculated projects that are out there, because let's be real, there is so much going on here. Ubisoft has to have all hands on deck with this, and that's not counting the other titles that they're working about. This is just Assassin's Creed. But the fact that they're trying to take this Infinity Hub and connect everything with a bigger overarching story has me truly excited. If they can connect past games as well, or remake and remaster them and then connect to it, and it all comes together for this big, dare I say it, multiverse adventure in the Assassin's Creed franchise, I am 100% down for that. So let me know what you guys think. Will you be buying Mirage? Will you be buying Red? Are you excited about the open world vibe for feudal Japan? Are you excited for Mirage being a more stealth-based classic feel for Assassin's Creed? We'll continue to cover. When anything else breaks, I'll make a video and let you guys know. I hope you guys have a great day. Be sure to check out all the G Fuel deals going on. Link at the top of the description, and I'll see you soon.